Would you rather work a 40-hour work week or a 32-hour work week? Well, that's up for debate in California. Lawmakers in that state are proposing a 4-day work week for private sector companies with more than 500 employees. Should the proposed bill be passed by the state's legislature, it could affect more than 2,000 businesses in California. California Assembly member Evan Lowe, who's co-authored this bill, joins us now to discuss this. Evan, thanks for being here. A lot of us love this idea, but why? Why was the idea of proposing a 4-day work week as a matter of state law a priority for you, and what's the latest on your proposal?
Sure. Well, it's good to see you, Terry. Maybe we should say happy Thursday instead of happy Friday, should this law be in existence. But we know that with the Great Resignation, how do we fundamentally reimagine the workforce, especially as we're trying to help ensure that we have more workers getting back into the workforce? That's what this conversation is about. But as much as we might like to think that this is earth-shattering, this is not a new concept. In fact, Iceland already has this in its existence. We also have seen companies like Microsoft also try this as a pilot as well. And the results have shown increased worker productivity, not less. And also workers much more confident in staying in their jobs with respect to retention and also recruitment.
So those are counterintuitive benefits there that you're claiming. But I do want to ask about the cultural impact. Look, the United States used to be known as a country with a Protestant work ethic, right? Still to this day, we work longer hours than our European counterparts. Do you think America's ready, California is ready, for a 4-day work week?
Well, Terry, of course we are ready. We're ready for the conversation to be able to recognize that with technology, we're that much more connected. And it's important that when we think about the #1 priority that workers are asking for, it's that of flexibility. How do we ensure that we have the work-life balance? How do we ensure that we're more efficient and effective in the existing work days, while also making sure that we are taking time to acknowledge and address some of these other life issues, which include mental health, taking care of loved ones, taking your children to soccer practice, everything in between. That's what this conversation is about.
And I think you're absolutely right. The pandemic has taught a lot of us that maybe we were in the office too much. And I did live overseas and could tell that I would look around the office at 5:30, 6 o'clock. I was the only one there. They have a very different attitude to this. But critics want you to answer, like the California Chamber of Commerce has said, that this measure would increase labor costs for businesses, and that would slow down the economy. And there are tech workers and others who say they will still be expected to get a certain amount of work done that would just crush them in 32 hours. That'd be hard to do. How do you answer those criticisms?
I think these are a fair assessment, which is that someone will have to eat the costs. What I think is part of this conversation is with this legislative proposal, we have an opportunity to convene these fruitful conversations. What are the metrics that support this? What are the data points that support this? How does this impact collective bargaining? If not, how do we ensure that overtime is still an option, while also recognizing that business and workers alike, employers and employees alike, recognize the importance of flexibility. And this fundamentally addresses the issue of flexibility. So I'm happy and encouraged for the conversations as we move forward to best ensure how we can support the worker and the employer alike.
Yeah, it is an innovative idea, at least in this country, I expect. So does the proposal have anything in it that protects the benefits employees get for overtime? What would overtime look in a 4-day work week?
Well, the overtime is still an option. We still also want to make sure that we respect and protect retirements and collective bargaining, and fundamentally empowering the worker. That's why we just introduced the piece of legislation as it moves through the legislative process, hearing from stakeholders and using data points to best support and address some of the fixes. So that's what this conversation is about as it moves forward. But fundamentally, how do we make sure that workers are still provided the incredible flexibility that we require, especially as we recognize the response needed for the Great Resignation?
Absolutely. So it's got an economic impact and that human impact on work-life balance. You know, I'm very intrigued. It's Thursday. I'm out of here. California Assemblyman Evan Lowe, thanks very much for being with us.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.